In the heart of Southeast Asia lies Cambodia, a country with a tumultuous past, forever marked by the brutal regime of Pol Pot and the Khmer Rouge. This is the story of a man whose ideological fervor led to one of the most devastating genocides in history. Join us as we delve into the life, ideologies, and legacy of Pol Pot and the indelible impact he left on Cambodia. Born Saloth Sar in 1925, Pol Pot grew up in a rural village in Cambodia. His early life was marked by a passion for learning and a deep-seated resentment towards the French colonial rule. This passion for learning was not limited to academics. He also had a love for the violin, a passion that would later be overshadowed by his political ambitions. Pol Pot's later education was pivotal in shaping his political views. He attended some of the finest educational institutions in Cambodia, where he was exposed to Marxist ideologies. These formative years laid the groundwork for his future revolutionary activities. In the 1950s, Pol Pot traveled to Paris on a scholarship, where he became deeply involved in communist circles. It was here that he honed his political beliefs and forged connections with like-minded individuals who would later join him in his revolutionary endeavors. Upon his return to Cambodia, Pol Pot was determined to put his political ideologies into action. He joined the fledgling communist movement, which was gaining momentum in the face of growing discontent with the ruling regime. Pol Pot played a crucial role in developing the communist movement in Cambodia. He worked tirelessly to recruit members and spread his vision of a communist utopia, free from the shackles of colonialism and capitalism. In 1960, Pol Pot co-founded the Kampuchean Labour Party, which later became known as the Khmer Rouge. This marked the beginning of his rise to power and his relentless pursuit of a communist revolution. As the political landscape in Cambodia grew increasingly volatile, Pol Pot and his allies began plotting a rebellion. They aimed to overthrow the existing government and establish a communist state, no matter the cost. The Cambodian Civil War began in earnest, with Pol Pot's opposition to Prince Norodom Sihanouk. The Khmer Rouge, under Pol Pot's leadership, launched a series of attacks against the government, sparking a wave of violence and unrest. After the coup that ousted Sihanouk, Pol Pot turned his sights on the new regime led by Lon Nol. The Khmer Rouge intensified their military operations, gaining control of large swathes of the countryside. In a strategic move, Pol Pot formed an alliance with the deposed Prince Sihanouk. This unlikely collaboration helped the Khmer Rouge gain legitimacy and support from the rural population, furthering their cause. The conflict raged on, with the Khmer Rouge making significant gains against the government forces. Pol Pot's leadership and strategic acumen were instrumental in these victories. In 1975, the Khmer Rouge achieved their ultimate goal, the conquest of Phnom Penh. The city fell to Pol Pot's forces, marking the beginning of a new era in Cambodian history. The Khmer Rouge immediately implemented their radical collectivization policies, forcing the urban population into rural labor camps. With the fall of Phnom Penh, Pol Pot established the new government of Democratic Kampuchea. He implemented a series of drastic policies aimed at creating a communist agrarian society, including the abolition of money, private property, and traditional family structures. Under Pol Pot's leadership, the rural reforms were brutal and unyielding. The urban population was forced to work in the fields, often under inhumane conditions. The goal was to create a self-sufficient agrarian society, but the reality was one of widespread suffering and death. Democratic Kampuchea, as Pol Pot's regime was known, was a state built on fear and repression. Dissent was not tolerated, and those who opposed the regime faced severe consequences, including torture and execution. One of the most chilling aspects of Pol Pot's rule was the systematic purges and executions of perceived enemies of the state. The killing fields, where countless Cambodians were brutally murdered, stand as a grim testament to the regime's brutality. Pol Pot's foreign relations were marked by isolationism and a deep mistrust of external influences. He sought to keep Cambodia free from foreign intervention, even as the country descended into chaos. The exact number of deaths under Pol Pot's regime is difficult to ascertain, but estimates range from 1.7 to 3 million. This staggering loss of life is a testament to the brutality and inhumanity of the Khmer Rouge's policies. The fall of democratic Kampuchea began with the Vietnamese invasion in 1979. The Vietnamese forces, backed by the Soviet Union, quickly overran the Khmer Rouge, forcing Pol Pot and his followers to flee into the jungle. The Vietnamese invasion marked the beginning of the end for Pol Pot's regime. The Khmer Rouge, once a formidable force, was now on the run, their dreams of a communist utopia shattered. Even in exile, Pol Pot and the Khmer Rouge continued to fight against the Vietnamese-backed government. They waged a guerrilla war from their jungle hideouts, determined to reclaim their lost power. The fall of the Khmer Rouge was a slow and painful process. As the years passed, their support dwindled and their forces were gradually defeated. By the late 1990s, the Khmer Rouge was a shadow of its former self, and Pol Pot was a fugitive. In 1997, Pol Pot was captured by a former Khmer Rouge commander and placed under house arrest. He died a year later, never having faced justice for his crimes. His death marked the end of an era, but the legacy of his brutal regime lives on in the memories of those who survived it. Pol Pot's political ideology was a blend of Marxism-Leninism and Khmer nationalism. He believed in the creation of a communist agrarian society, free from the influences of capitalism and colonialism. His vision, however, was marred by a ruthless disregard for human life and a willingness to use violence to achieve his goals. Pol Pot was a complex figure, both charismatic and ruthless. He was known for his unwavering commitment to his ideological beliefs, even as they led to widespread suffering and death. His personal life was shrouded in secrecy, and he remained an enigmatic figure even to those closest to him. The reception and legacy of Pol Pot are marked by horror and revulsion. He is remembered as one of the most brutal dictators in history, responsible for the deaths of millions of his own people. His legacy serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and ideological extremism. Even in death, Pol Pot remains a controversial figure. His tomb has become a site of cultic activities, with some viewing him as a revolutionary hero, while others see him as a symbol of the darkest chapter in Cambodian history. The conflicting views reflect the complex nature of his legacy and the enduring impact of his rule. As we reflect on the tumultuous history of Cambodia under Pol Pot's regime, we are reminded of the resilience and strength of the Cambodian people. The scars of the past serve as a poignant reminder of the importance of human rights, democracy, and the pursuit of justice. Today, Cambodia stands as a testament to the indomitable spirit of its people, who continue to heal and rebuild from the shadows of their darkest chapter. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary, please like, share, and subscribe for more historical content. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the past.